Alright guys, so I'm going to do something I have never done here on the channel before. I am going to review a movie, and of course, this being the F1 channel, we need to look at the F1 movie, which was just released last week. I went to the cinema to watch it on Saturday. I went to the IMAX as well, so the actual format that it was so-called, meant to be watched in, effectively. It was filmed for IMAX, in IMAX, and I saw it in IMAX. I just want to give my thoughts on it overall, because to be honest with you, it was kind of how I expected it to be, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. Not perfect by any means, and I'm sure that there's a lot of fans that will not be a huge fan of this film, but I explain why as I go through. So we'll start with the positives. Obviously, Brad Pitt, fantastic actor. Really love the character of Sonny Hayes. Basically a bohemian, a kind of maverick Formula One or motorsport driver. You start the film by seeing him racing in Daytona, then he works his way to Formula One. And by the way, I'm going to avoid spoilers in this as well. I'm not going to go into specific about plot or anything like that. So don't worry, there's no spoiler alert when it comes to this. I'll be as vague as possible when it comes to referring to certain things, and I won't go into specifics about the events of the story itself. I'll just give my overall thoughts, kind of going over what I think, about this film, really. And also from the positives as well, the technical standpoint of things. I mean, we knew this coming into this. It's the guy behind and the team behind the Top Gun sequel, which was released the other year. Incredible from a technical point of view. It was always going to be, extremely impressive, really, from that standpoint. The way they filmed this, the way they've inserted a fictional team and two fictional drivers and two fictional cars into the real world of Formula One, I think was absolutely magnificent. And we may never see anything like this again. The amount of depth they went into with this was extremely impressive. I was really, really blown away by this. I mean, I was actually there at Silverstone in 2023 when they were filming this as well. I knew little bits like about a certain thing happening in a certain race. I'm not going to say what for obvious reasons, but I knew little bits about that. But I wondered how they were going to kind of weave it in there, how they were going to make it actually work. And it was so impressive how they did it, to really, really just make it seem authentic from that point of view. So if you're wanting a thrill ride, if you're wanting a Formula One roller coaster ride of a film, this is absolutely it. There is nothing that comes close to it in the modern era of Formula One when it comes to being this authentic of a take when it comes to it. The only thing I can compare it to is the Grand Prix film from the 1960s, but that's a completely different era of Formula One. It's almost 60 years old, that film now. It's brilliant, but I'm just saying that Formula One has moved on a lot in that time. Now, I'll get onto some of the negatives, things when it came to this. And I knew this was going to be the case coming into it. The plot is very cheesy. We knew this. I don't think that's a big negative, personally. We knew this was going to happen. You don't watch these kinds of films for the plot. It is very cheesy. The film takes a lot of liberties, really, when it comes to certain plot points and certain things happening just to spice up the drama. I'm not going to go too into depth, but basically there's a bit where someone does a pit stop, and it's always, they're right on the edge. They might lose this because of this pit stop, but in reality, in a real Formula One race, you wouldn't have had to do that pit stop. They would have been fine anyway, but they just added it in there just to make the drama just a bit more ramped up. Just little things like that, which, if you're not that familiar with Formula One, or you're not really that clued up on it, you just watch F1 kind of casually, you might watch that and not really notice it, but the hardcore fans will notice it. And again, we knew this coming into this, when they had the premiere in Monaco, and also when they had the premiere in New York City as well, the F1 drivers were saying, this is not a realistic film. This is a fun film. It's a good time, but you are not going to see something that is 100% accurate. And there was some humour in there. There was some drama in there as well. Some of the jokes fell a little flat at times, I feel. But, overall, I did really enjoy this film. It was a good time. But it is not meant for the hardcore Formula One fan. This is a film that is meant to be basically the movie equivalent of Drive to Survive. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. If you love Drive to Survive, you'll love this. If you don't like Drive to Survive, this film really will not be for you, to be honest with you. I don't like Drive to Survive that much, but I didn't go into this thinking this was going to be an accurate portrayal of a Formula One kind of season and everything. There's a lot of, and again, without getting into too much detail about the plots, because I want to avoid spoilers, it does take a lot of liberties when it comes to that sort of thing. But it is a big success. I mean, we just brought an article. I'm not going to go through it, obviously, but we just brought an article out on the F1chronicle.com, and I'll link it in the description if you guys want to, go read that, of course. But financially, it's already been a big success. In North America, it's already grossed $55 million in its opening weekend and $144 million globally. It's already, at this early stage of its release, is the most financially successful successful film that has been produced by Apple Productions. So even though it has a budget of around $200 million, which I'm quite surprised by, I thought it would have been a bigger budget than that, but there's not many big name actors other than Pitt and Bardem, I suppose, so it's fair enough from that point of view. But you know, to break even at that point, you need about $400 million or so. That's going to do this comfortably. This is going to earn at least $500 million minimum. I think it's going to be a big financial success, and that's the aim of it. It's going to attract a lot of casual people who either don't have Netflix or not really into TV series or documentaries. You know, it's going to attract a new kind of audience into Formula One, and that is what it's meant to be. It is not meant for the hardcore fan. It is not meant to be for people who will nitpick everything and find holes in everything, because trust me, there are plenty of holes in this film for sure. But I don't care. Personally, for me, a lot of people will care, but I don't care personally. I switched off my brain, I went to have a good time, and I had a good time. So overall, this for me is like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10 or so. I enjoyed it. It's not the best by any means. It's not perfect. I can't help but see, you know, there's certain problems in some parts of the script and stuff. It's very cheesy, but I'm sure some people will really like it and some people will really hate it. I think this will be a very divisive film, but for me personally, if you're into Formula One, if you want to see some F1 to entertainment on the big screen, you want to see some impressive technical feats when it comes to the filming of this film, this is it for you. If you want to see something that's 100% accurate and a very accurate portrayal of Formula One, no, this is not it. Not even close. But let me know if you want a spoiler review, guys. Let me know if you want me to go into depth and go into the plot and how accurate all this all is. I've been speaking to a few people kind of in this week anyway, going over how accurate or inaccurate this film is really in general. But I can do a solo kind of video of that as well, just get my points out. If you want to see me do a spoiler-filled review, let me know in the comments below, guys. What did you think about the F1 film? Have you seen it yet? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, and have a fantastic day wherever you're in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.